recording this because the survivors no longer envy the dead. The Nile War is over. Its architects forever entombed in melted glass and steel. I watched the efforts of our species dance away on the radioactive wind. Civilization retreated by millennia. All of human history brought to dust. Our cities, now scorched black mausoleums, serve as a reminder. There can be no victory in war. Earth is the answer to the question of our mortality. With resolute defiance, we choose to grasp at the delicate thread of life. My son, the gift of survival is yours. Please, may you never submit. There will be more.
This is it. We are on our own. Herzlich willkommen zurück auf Schalke America. It's Victory Monday. It's Victory Monday. Solo tonight. No Jack tonight, but we're going to celebrate nonetheless. Big victory, an unexpected victory against Elversberg. I would be remiss if I did not begin with some unfortunate news that obviously we're all aware of. Friday night, literally as the game is going on, for those who don't know, Friday, obviously, Schalke was playing Elversberg, and the other game was Magdeburg against, I don't even know, I don't even care at this point. And during the game, during the Christmas markets, there was a terrorist act. People lost their lives, people were injured, very tragic scenes. So it turned what would be a fantastic result for us, nice result for Magdeburg, the club. All for naught because obviously the tragic happening that over there in Magdeburg. So our condolences to everyone that go out there that was affected by this. Not ideal, but we have to start the podcast this way. But there's no easy way to transition from that to what is the reason for we're here tonight. It is Victory Monday podcast to celebrate the win against Elversberg, ending the Hinrunde, ending the gauntlet on a fantastic run. What we're going to do tonight, and we're going to kind of prime you for how it's going to go going forward. Tonight, we'll do the podcast, and then after the podcast, we're going to go over to Twitch. Obviously, if you're watching on Twitch right now, you're just staying here. But for those who are not on Twitch, we're going to go to Twitch, and we're going to watch the little football highlights and watch what we're going to play one or two games of FIFA tonight. We're not going to do it on YouTube just because we don't want to get taken down with music and all that stuff. But that'll be going forward. That'll be kind of like the theme going on after the podcast is done. We're going to go over to Switch and play a little bit longer, talk a bit longer there. But tonight we're going to keep it short. It's just about Christmas Eve here, right? So I got lots of stuff to do. So I think I'll just do podcast tonight, go over there, watch some highlights, and then play a game or two of FIFA, and then get on out of here for the remainder of this week at least, maybe. We will do have a mid-season review during the Winterpause with Jack. But tonight I think we're gonna obviously talk the game. Have to talk about Elversberg game. Talk about some stuff that came after the game, like what was on social media. We put out a question. I put it on Discord, put it on Reddit, put it everywhere across social media, asking what are your takeaways from the midseason? And we're gonna read some of those responses. We had a lot of responses from that actually. Go over that, and then we'll see how that compares to what Jack and I think during the Winterpause midseason review. So. Yeah, that's I think where we're at, and we're gonna go tonight. We're gonna, like I said, prime you how we're doing it going forward. But nonetheless, let's get into it. Let's get into the game. Obviously, a big victory, a 4-1. I still can't believe it. 4-1 victory over Elversberg. Unreal performance. I don't think any of us expected this, to say the least. Look at the lineups in this one. I'm not gonna lie to you and say. I was expecting some heavy hitters from Elversberg. Elversberg are a good team, right? They are someone you have to respect for what they've done and how they've done it, right? Not last season, but the season before, they were in Dritte Liga. They won Dritte Liga, or they got promoted from Dritte Liga to Zweite Liga. And they did pretty well. Usually, when you get promoted, you struggle. Whatever league you promote from, you struggle in that new league. Not Elversberg. They finished, I think, 10th in the league last year. They did really good. They did really well. And then this year, coming into this game, they were first place. First place! I mean, consider this. They potentially could get promoted this season, Elversberg. A club as small as they are, it'll be a fantastic story. Nonetheless, I couldn't pick any of these players out from with my eyes closed, except for Aslani. I do know Aslani. Obviously, Zimmerscheid, Damar, and Petkov right behind him. The holy midfielders, you got Sickinger and Schmal. In the back, you got Neubauer, Rohr, Pinkert, Baum with Christoph in goal. Like I said, nothing that I would have been like, oh, I can tell you these guys are scaring me. No, I think this is just a good team. They don't have any standout stars, in my opinion, but collectively, they're one of the better teams just because they don't rely on just one person. They do it as a team. There's a great unit that they have together. So that's kind of why they're so successful. Now, over to the flip side, that are not as successful. But lately, we have been. And that's our club starting goal. Obviously, Justin Heckerin. Back forward, not much change from the game before. You had Bullet, Schallenberg, Kaminski, and Merkin. Kaminski and Schallenberg getting the nod again in the midfield, or in defense, I should say. In the midfield, Seguin was supposed to start this game. It's supposed to be Seguin and Bachmann. Unfortunately, Seguin picked up an injury during the warm-ups. Don't know the extent of it, but they didn't want to. They don't want to. He wasn't able to go, so Max Gruger had to step in. Unexpected. Like if you see how the team that they put out there said Seguin, and then all of a sudden, oh no, you got to change it up and put Gruger in there. So Gruger got to start with Bachmann, the front three attacking midfielders. You got Aiden on the right, Karaman in the middle, Antwi Adie on the left, with Silla leading the whole line. Good game by all of them, I think. Not surprised with the lineup. Not surprised that Gruger picked up Seguin's place. It would be to expect. You'd obviously want Paul Seguin to be in this, but the fact that he didn't play and the result that we got, it's a good thing. It's good depth. Not saying that I want Gruger to start over Seguin. That's not what I'm saying, but I think it's good to have depth like that where you can slot out one of your starters, bring in a backup, and continue to motor on. And what we've seen from Gerards lately is just that they seem to know what they want to do now. Let me go back to the chat here because I saw Eric in the chat. So Gluk Alf, Eric, I see you. And wherever you're watching us from us tonight, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. And if you're drinking, Eric, what are you drinking tonight? I am drinking a little bourbon, whiskey bourbon tonight. So in a celebratory Victory Monday fashion. But yeah, the lineup wasn't anything that was too surprising by me. I thought that fairly standard for what we've seen over the last 3 games now. It's been successful. Obviously, we get 7 points now in the last 3 games, 8 points from the 5 games. Yeah, and like I said, going into this gauntlet, we thought, I think any reasonable Schalke fan would say, Topo Chico with a twist of lime. I like it. I like it, Eric. I like it. Any reasonable Schalke fan, any optimistic Schalke fan, I should say, would tell you we would get 4 or 5 points in this run. I mean, you had the likes of Elversberg, Dusseldorf, Hamburg. Who else was in there? Paderborn. I forget who the 5th team was, but yeah, Nuremberg? Who's that? Whatever. Kaiserslautern. There we go. You see that run of team, all of them in the top 5 essentially of the league, all within a point or 2 of first place. And you're thinking, after what we just went through, we had just got some embarrassing defeats. Lost, I think, did we lose to Regensburg? Or not Regensburg, we won Regensburg. But we drew Ulm, had some pretty bad results leading up to that. So you're thinking, optimistically, maybe 4 or 5 points, and we ended up with 8 points. I mean, unreal what we did there, and we finished on a high note. Obviously, place-wise, I think we're 13th or 14th in the table, but yeah, we gave a little bit of cushion from ourselves from the bottom. We're still closer to the bottom than we are to the top. But, I mean, I tweeted out, I think on somewhere, I tweeted out, I sent a message out on social media somewhere that we're only 8 points from first place. 8 points? That's crazy. The Zweite Liga is crazy. Schalke, the admin tweeted out, why could we play more first place teams? It's like, look, considering the way Zweite Liga is going this year, we could probably play 5 or 6 more first place teams. It's just the way it changes every week. It's really ridiculous. But that's how fun. That's why we all love the Zweite Liga. We like to get out of it, but it's still so entertaining to watch. It's the most entertaining league in the world, no doubt about it. But let's start the game off. The game almost started calamitous for us, right? In the first couple of minutes, we're trying to play it out of the defense as we have been. I think we're having Schallenberg back there with Kaminsky. You have 2 guys who are pretty good on the ball. Unfortunately, the weather was a little suspect. It was rainy, and Ron Schallenberg took a slip in his own box with the ball, loses it, causes a turnover. They get a quick shot off. Hackern made a big save on it. Obviously, he's furious, but obviously the elements played a part in that, and not a good way to start the game. But we would respond rather quickly, honestly. And I don't know what the hell's been getting into Keenan Karaman lately. I don't know if he's been watching Lionel Messi highlight reels or whatever, but man, this guy's turned into something else. He's been good for us all season, but lately he's just taken up another level. And in this game, he literally went through 4 or 5 guys by himself, looked like vintage Messi, and then scores the goal to boot 1-0 in the 11th minute. And I'm like, where did this come from here? Unreal. We know it's funny because Jack and I talked about this last week. How Keenan Karaman with the ball is very similar to Marius Bulter with the angry tree, where they're lanky. They look kind of goofy when they're running the ball, but for some reason they get by everybody. They got really good footwork, and he's Johnny on the spot. He gets these goals that you don't expect him to get, and Keenan Karaman went through the whole team, it seemed like, and scored a nice goal on the top left, I guess it was, past the keeper. Really great goal, 1-0. You're like, geez, Louise, this is maybe the kind of night we're gonna have here. We do well. I mean, after that goal, kind of settled in there. I think we allowed a little too much possession to Elversberg as the half continued on. And then, 25th minute, ball's getting passed around. Ball eventually finds its way to Carlos Sickinger. And he takes a shot from distance. I mean, outside the box. Ideally, if you're a Schalke fan, if you're Häkkinen, that's what you want, right? A shot from distance that you can easily see. And fair enough, Sickinger obliged, took the shot right at Häkkinen. I mean, literally hit him like right here, and it went in the net. It's like it went in the net. Häkkinen put his hands out. It's wet, so he didn't try to catch it, or maybe he did. That's why he went in behind him, but hits his hands, goes over his head and into the goal. Häkkinen, that's a big mea culpa there. He knows it. Harry Potter, aka Van Vonderen, knows it. Everyone knew it. It was a mistake, but a bad mistake. 1-1. Because at that point, we didn't know how the game was going to pan out. And we don't seem to always have the best luck this season, especially the beginning part of the season. But a goal like that can really turn game on its head. Luckily, it did not. And luckily, Häkkinen kind of bounced back after that and kind of played well, really well after that. But we made it out of the half. 1-1. Okay, first half. Like I said, should have been up, but that was a bad goal. Considering that, way Keenan got that goal in, you're like, okay, let's just get another goal, make it more comfortable for us, and see how it goes. Second half started out quite well, I thought. Passing was getting better. We were looking more and more confident on the ball. This team is just, over the last several weeks, has really grown in swagger and grown in confidence. And you see it in the possession and their passing. They're passing more intent in the offensive side. Where at the beginning stages of Kees van Vonderen's tenure, we didn't see this at all. It was like nothing. It was like they tried to defend it as best they could, and then they were just like, I don't know what to do with the ball. Everyone go for themselves. Now it seems like there's intent, there's movement, good possession, good runs, good overlapping on both sides too. It's not just like Merkin on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you have Bullet or Aiden. Later in the game, you saw Gantenbaum on the right hand side, but you saw good movement, and then in 55th minute or so, ball's getting transitioned over. Bachmann gets the ball, quickly gives it to Antwi Adie. Antwi Adie finds Merkin, who's cut it into the box. He did like an inverted winger type move where he gets into the box. Nice feed from Antwi Adie. Ball looked like it's going to go out of bounds, and Merkin just flips it back across the crease. Finds Musa Silla wide open back door. 2-1. It's like, yeah, boy, that's what we need. That's what we need. Good goal of him. You saw a goal coming from him. He was just there, just missing it. Weren't sure if he's going to get the goal. Got his goal on mark. Really poor defending from Elversberg. Not what you would expect from a team who's in first place. And you could tell how frustrated Elversberg were. And the best part of this is that what we've seen in the past, we would get a goal, kind of let our foot off the gas. Not so much this game. We kind of kept going with what got us there. That's what we've been preaching for so long. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let them back in the game. And eventually, you saw another play where ball's getting passed around. Ball eventually finds its way to Keenan Karaman, and at that point, I'm thinking he's trying to recreate that early one-on-one goal, trying to do it all himself. Though this time he sees a wide open Ron Schallenberg, crosses the box from in the 6-yard box, finds Schallenberg. Ball goes in, 3-1. Great goal. When it first happened, I didn't know exactly. I couldn't tell exactly what happened because I thought maybe Karaman scored it, or I wasn't sure what happened. Hit the defender. You watch the replay, you can see clear pass to Schallenberg. Schallenberg just directed it. Didn't have to do any power or anything like that. And 3-1 up. Living life. At that point, we were like, okay, game's over at this point. Let's just see this game out. It's natural when it's 2-goal lead. Most teams are going to settle back, get relaxed. And that's when the team another opposition get back into the game. 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in sports, really, right? In soccer and hockey, really. But no, we did not stop. In the 75th minute, you saw some good passing play between Keenan Karaman and Max Gruger, who found Gattenbeim backdoor. Gattenbeim quick one-touch pass to Musa Silla in the box. Really nice movement on the fourth goal. Boom, 4-1. That is all she wrote. Musa Silla gets his brace. Karaman got a goal at least a goal and assist. Karaman ends the Hinrunde with 11 goals. I think it's 11 goals, as is Musa Silla. So, man, who would have thought a team who's in mid-table with 2 of the leading goal scorers in the league, tied with Zivzivadze from, who does he play for? Hertha? I forget who he plays in that. Kaiserslautern? Or Karlsruhe? Yeah, wow. What a performance by us. Really, really surprising. If you look at the XGs in this one, nothing like too crazy. It wasn't like Paderborn where we were definitive, like, by far the most dominant team. This game was a little bit closer, right? Hey, Diggler's in the house. Glück auf, Glück auf. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot closer in this game. I thought it was fine overall, But yeah, look at it. XG 1.6 to 1.3. Ours kind of feel like it came out of nowhere at times, but I mean, really great goals. All of the goals were nice by us. Shots on target, 6 on target. That's the thing. I think the big difference over the last 3-4 weeks, our shots on targets have increased. Like we've had games where we've had 20, 30 shots or whatever, 15, 20 shots, but on target you had like 2. Lately, it seems like we're getting at least 5-6 shots on target a game, which those equate to more goals. More chances on goal, the better chance you're going to get a score, right? They had 5 as well. Possession had a little bit more, but they were trying to get back into the game late, right? Playing on the counterattack. Passes wise, mid 70 percentile for both teams. Both teams running a lot. Overall pretty good. Shots. Aslani had 8 shots. I mean, he had a pretty good game, right? Considering they lost. Bullet actually led the way for us, surprisingly or not. He had the best pass efficiency. He and Kaminsky really doing really well, working up together. Gruger getting the most run. Again, Gruger came on late before kickoff. It's supposed to be Paul Seguin. He gets injured. Can you guys give me a song for my playlist? Okay, let's do Blau und Weiß ein Leben lang. Oh, there you go, our goal song. But yeah, Gruger came in last minute for Paul Seguin and had a really good game. That vision he saw to get Gantenbeim backdoor in the 4th goal, really good, right? Really good stuff by him. Fastest runner, Antwi Adie. It's funny because Antwi Adie is a guy who solid player, really solid player, very fundamentally sound. We don't really consider him like a fast player, right? I mean, if you compared him and Moore, that's probably not good judgment there, right? Certainly faster than Kaminsky, right? But you wouldn't think of him as like a super fast guy, yet, there he is, 33.8. You think Bullet's faster than him, right? Or even Gruger or something like that. Silla. But no, it's Antuyadje, fastest guy. And then duels won. Keenan Karaman, 23 duels won. Typically, you don't see that with the strikers, right? But you see 2 strikers here. Fisnik Aslani and Keenan Karaman both, have the most duels won for their respective teams. So, really crazy performance there. Fouls. We had a lot of fouls. So, as the day, we had no offsides, though. That's surprising, We a team that's toed the line quite a lot and get caught quite a bit of times. We didn't commit any fouls in this one. So, yeah, really great result there overall. I told you Magdeburg had won as well. Magdeburg beat Dusseldorf, so that's a good result for them, considering Dusseldorf was high on the table. Other games of the weekend, Saturday, you had Hamburg beating Greuther Fürth 5-0. Paderborn lost to Karlsruhe. Paderborn, man, we brought them down to life. Munster and with the 0-0 boring game there. And then Saturday night, you had Nuremberg beating Eintracht Braunschweig. Good result for us. Well, I'll come to your question next, Diggler. Then Sunday, you had Hanover and Hertha with a 0-0 draw. Hertha actually set only 1 point above us in the table. Kaiserslautern lost to Köln. And then Regensburg beat Darmstadt. Looking at the table here. For the end of the Hinrunde, Cologne are your new first place team. That's your flavor of the week this time. With their win against the former number one. Just behind them is Karlsruhe, 29 points. Then you got a boatload of teams there. You got Hamburg, Elversberg, Magdeburg, and Paderborn all at 28 points. Hanover behind them. And then you keep going down, and look, we're 13th place. We're actually 11 points now. We were 8 points before that Cologne game. But yeah, 1 point. Now 2 points. Hertha got a draw. I forgot that. So there you go. 2 points behind Hertha and Nuremberg. So we're within arm's reach of top 10, right? No, we did not talk to Mr. Digla. He says, should the coach give Torben Hoffmann a chance? She was a top Zweite Liga goalie last year versus in Braunschweig. That's an interesting question. To start the season, I would have said absolutely he should be number one goalkeeper based on that point alone. And Häcken really hadn't done anything prior coming to the season. What I think we've seen, and I think I saw this on Reddit or someone responded to one of the Schalke pages, but they're like, what would you rather have? A guy who has a really great reaction but not so good with his feet, as in Hoffmann. Hoffmann's a really good shot stopper, right? He really is. He's shown it. As you mentioned, best Zweite Liga goalkeeper last season. But with his feet, he's okay, right? Or would you rather have a keeper who's just okay as a shot stopper, considering this is his first full year as a starter, but really good with his feet? And people tend to think it's Häcken. You want to have Häcken because that upside, he will get better as a shot stopper, and you can't really teach that foot skills that sometimes you just don't have it, right? How long have they been trying to teach Gianluigi Donnarumma over at PSG how to play with his feet, and he can't do it, right? It's something you have or you don't have, and not to say Hoffmann is anywhere like Donnarumma with his feet. He's much better than Donnarumma, right? But should he get another chance? If we were still in the Pokal, yes, absolutely. But I think at this point, I think he should be a backup. I mean, I don't want to give it up to Heck. I think Häcken's deserved everything he's had. He's been solid lately. Yeah, he had a really terrible play last game, but we won. We still won the game. It was rainy, so you can kind of lift that up. But what is it? Goonies usually stop shots with their hands. Goalies usually stop. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Dirk. But it was raining. He gets a pass. It was raining. He doesn't usually make those kind of mistakes. And I think the time that we saw Hoffmann this year, the few games that he's been in there, he's been okay. It was okay. It wasn't something that said like he won the position. I think when Jack and I were talking about this on the podcast during that time when it was back and forth, when Gerhardt was saying Hoffmann gets so many games and then Häcken gets so many games. At that point, or maybe it was at the start of Van Wonderen's tenure, you're hoping Häcken was doing enough to say I'm first place, but Hoffmann wasn't doing anything that says, hey, you should pick me over him. It was just like, okay, it's more of the same. And so I really like Hoffmann. I think he's a good goalie, but at this point, considering the momentum that Häcken's built, the chemistry that he has with the team, outside of friendlies, or maybe a game. See, that's the thing with the Zweite Liga. It's not like Bundesliga, right? Where like you're one of the big teams in the Bundesliga. You can have some off games. You could play a Darmstadt, not that they're in there anymore, but St. Pauli or something like that, and putting some of your backups in, put a backup goalie in. Zweite Liga, I think it's too competitive to do that. You see how many points we're within 11 points of first place, and then you look at the bottom side, we're 9 points from the bottom, right? We're only 6 points from the last relegation spot, so it's too close, I think, to do that. Oh, and what's up, my man? So it's hard to do that, I think, and I don't know. As much as I would love to give Hoffmann a try, I don't know where he would be able to fit in without ruining potentially some momentum. That's the one position I feel like we've dabbled in over the years, the last several years for sure, where we try to bring in another goalie and all of a sudden created an unnecessary goalie controversy, and it's kind of deflated the team as a result. I don't want to see that again. I think Häcken is doing really well, and until he gives you a reason to say, hey, Hoffmann, get out here, I say you ride the hot hand at the moment. The team is feeding off of it. He's a good distributor of the ball. I think between he, Schallenberg, and Kaminski currently, it's really good in terms of ball distribution, and so they can get out of most dangerous situations. Yeah, I know there are situations where even Hakeren doesn't look that great with the ball, but I'm gonna say no in a long-winded way. But what are your thoughts? Let me know. What are your thoughts? He says, "I'm sure if we would have lost the game, that go by one goal discussion." Right? Yep, I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. So that is that. After the game, this is interesting from Yannick. Yannick tweeted out that at the end of the Hinrunde, we actually have more away wins than home wins. Very Mourinho-like there by Van Vonderen and company. There's a funny meme going out. I think it was on Instagram. It might have been one of the Schalke meme pages, but it was kept saying about the videos were like, maybe Gamer Brothers, I think, tweeted this out. It was like, I am not Harry Potter, and they kept going over and over. But I was like, yeah, I think Harry Potter, man. Where can you watch the games? So this is what sucks about this Fight the Liga, right? As much as we love this Fight the Liga, it's hard for us not in Europe to watch the game. DAZN sucks from what everybody tells me, and ESPN Plus sucks. ESPN Plus's Bundesliga coverage is outstanding. You can have every game on demand. It's wonderful. When we were in the Bundesliga, it was really great. Even when we weren't featured on TV, we could watch the game no matter what. Now, the coverage might not always be there, right? You're supposed to watch the game, doesn't play. We've seen that this year. But it seems like this Fight the Liga doesn't get as much love for whatever reason. I wish it was like the Dritte Liga, where it's, I think, free on YouTube. So outside of ESPN Plus, where you get once in a blue moon, we had that one stretch of 3-4 games, which is very, very rare for us as Schalke fans. Outside of that, you have to rely on Serbian streams or some kind of odd stream there and here and there. If you're not in our Discord already, go on our Discord. We like to share links during the game in the threads for where you can watch the games. I'll say 738.me.tv, something like that. 738tv.me is one of the sites. But yeah, definitely go on our Discord during the game chat. So we try to provide links when the games are not on ESPN Plus or DAZN or something very easily readable or available. So definitely check that out, Owen. But yeah, Yannick's saying more away wins than road wins and than home wins. I was telling Jack this last week, I think it was. I was like, I felt like on the road we were a much better team than at home, and obviously more away wins tells you that. And it's funny because obviously when you have a home crowd like Velton's Arena, you think you'd feed off of that. But I think it also, it can have a negative effect if you're a lot of newer players who are not familiar with that or are not used to that kind of atmosphere. And then, the crowd can get on you if you're not playing well, right? And on the road, you're a little bit more loosey-goosey. You see this in other sports like hockey and even baseball, right? Sometimes getting away just from the family and getting away from your normal day-to-day. You're more focused and you can kind of just worry about what you have to do for that game, And so that makes your team more disciplined. You play better. You play as a whole. So I'm not too surprised by the road wins. I mean, it seems we have been struggling over the years, but we've struggled at home and away lately. So I'll take it. We obviously got some road wins. I feel some good mojo coming here in the Rückrunde. Hopefully we can continue it, coming out of the break here. But yeah, it's funny there seeing that. Also from the game, as a result, we had a big win, and 3 of our players made the kicker best 11. Of course, Kini Karaman, Ron Schallenberg, and Musa Silla. So it's good to see. It's still odd to see Schallenberg in defense. Just ask Marco Uth. Nice, Dirk. So odd to see Schallenberg playing defense, but yeah, no, he's doing well. He's doing well. Like I said, at this point, like we said last week, at this point, you have to ride with what's hot. And even though Kalash is one of our main guys, we saw Kalash a good bit in this game because Bachmann got injured. Bachmann is injured. We'll get to that in a second. Bachmann got injured, so he went out. Schallenberg moved up into the middle, and Kalash went to the back 4. But the way Schallenberg and Kaminsky, for some odd reason, are working well together, you got to ride it. You got to ride it. As a team, if we were one of those teams that were just built so well, so tight, very deep, it wouldn't matter. We could rotate here and there, right? You look at a team like Atalanta, they're plug and play. Schalke are not that. We changed one person, it changed the whole dynamic. And so I say stick with what got you there. The only place we can do that with is at midfield, right? Because you have Seguin, you have Bachmann, you can obviously put Schallenberger there, and you got Max Kruger. 4 very capable guys in the midfield. And even throw Antwi Adie in there as well. He mostly plays on the wings, but he can play in the middle for sure. So we have some good, decent depth in the midfield. But other than that, any other position, pretty much screwed, I think. So go with what you got you there. So really nice to see that by those 3 guys. Fully deserved to make the kicker top 11 there. Look at some other news from that Schalke and all that stuff came out with. Let's see here. Let me hide the chat here for a second. All right, so maybe one of our MVPs of the first half of the season, Tim Hoogland, gets extended his contract with the Royal Blues. The former Schalke player will remain part of Kees van Vonderen's coaching staff and has extended his contract until June 30th, 2026. We talked about this last week. Is he one of the saviors? Is he one of the real reasons why we've been so successful over this last 2 months? Maybe. But happy to see that he got extended. What else do we got here? Here's where Schalke said, can we play the first place league leaders every week? We'll get plenty of opportunity, I think, in the second half of the season. Other bit of news, Max Kruger. He gets extended. Good to see that. Tillman kind of previewed that a youngster would get an extension here coming up Monday. And we got 3. Well, 2, I guess. Hoagland's not a youngster there. But, Knappe Schmieder product. Max Kruger signed a new deal with the Royal Blues, keeping him at the club until June 30th, 2028. So that's 3.5 more years. Good to have him there. I don't want to lose him for any kind of money or anything like that, right? So, for free. Don't want to lose him for free. Don't want to lose him, period. But if you're going to lose him for money. This is a funny compilation of Gerards versus Van Vonderen. 18-year-old Knappe defender Mika Kadar has signed a professional deal at Schalke, which runs until June 30th, 2028. It's a magic time, I guess it is. But yeah. Good to have another person into our Knappe Schmiede. Ben Manga talked about wanting to develop the youth, and here you go. Sign an 18-year-old here to the Knappe Schmiede. Dirk, I will get to that comment. Thank you for reminding me about that comment there. I will get back to that. Here's a little highlight reel video of Max Kruger growing up. Young Max Kruger. There he is. Oh, grown up-ish. I love those kids too. So a nice little video there by Schalke to welcome the extension there, the signing, and there you go, Sky Sport talking about him there. Another picture there from Schalke and Kruger. Yannick Bachmann picked up an injury in the game. He had to come off. Like I mentioned, Schallenberg moved up into the midfield. Kalas dropped back. We'll find out how serious it is. Hopefully he heals up quick. He had a minor knee surgery that will take several weeks to heal. So hopefully he's back just at the start of the Rückrunde. I mean, Yunus went through something similar where he had a minor foot surgery, I believe it was. And he's expected to be back just at the start of the Rückrunde as well. So hopefully he got a speedy recovery for Bachmann. As up and down as he played this year thus far, he's come on as of late. And I think it's been really a good thing for our midfield, because I think I always picture him as a defensive midfielder, but he's very much a box-to-box midfielder. He's good in the air, and he's got some good vision as of late. And he linked up well on that Musa Silla goal where he found Antwi Adie, who ended up finding Merkin back to Silla. He's been involved. He had a nice assist to Keenan Karaman a couple weeks ago. He's been an integral member of the team lately, so hopefully speedy recovery for him. This is the tweet I mentioned out on all social media. We'll get to that in a second. What else we got here? There's Mika Kadar. There's a kicker, best 11. Oh, friendlies. Some friendlies have been announced. So we're going to play Arau again, the Swiss club. We're going to play them again, plus FC Zurich as well during the winter training camp in Belek. And then there's the thoughts and prayers for the Magdeburg game. So that is that. Let me get to the comments. Hold on, here we go. Let's get Guido Burgstaller first. Guido Burgstaller isn't doing well here. Heard he might be done with a professional career. Yeah, so the latest update I heard is the same thing as what Dirk is saying here. Essentially, the injuries are so bad with him with the skull fracture that it's likely his career's going to be done. I mean, he's 35 years old anyway. It's not like he's a young bird in terms of footballing. But yeah, it's unfortunate, man. A vicious attack. And the story, how I heard it at least, was that he was out. Guido Burgstaller was out with his girlfriend, his partner, his wife, whatever, in downtown Vienna or somewhere in Vienna, and his girlfriend or his partner asked this dude for a light, and the guy started making fun of her because of her accent, because she has a very posh accent, I guess. She's from the high Austrian accent or whatever. He was making fun of her accent. Things that escalated. Obviously, Burgstaller's going to step in and stuff like that, and the guy attacked Burgstaller and head hit the ground, fractured skull, all that stuff. They arrested the guy. I do know that. And she threw the book at the guy. If you're going to affect someone's career like that, throw the book at the guy. I don't know if that's what the actual how it actually happened. That's how I read that the story happened. On terrible news and terrible way for Guido Burgstaller's career to end, more than likely, because it's going to take several months. It's a fractured skull, right, at the base of his skull, so it's going to take a long time to heal. And as you get older, it takes longer to heal this kind of stuff. And I don't know, depending on where it is, it could just be one of those things where it's never going to heal properly, and it's not safe for you to play football anymore. So, if it is the end, I heard that Rapid Vienna were going to make an announcement on it today. I didn't see if they did or not. However, I would expect something the next day or two with Rapid Vienna and Guido Burgstaller. So stay tuned for that. Unfortunate way to get into Christmas here for Guido Burgstaller. So thank you, Dirk, for reminding me about that. Med Hunter says, so what do you think about will be the possible in the Rückrunde for us? All right, so I'll get to my comments here, and we'll go further to that when Jack is here for our mid-season review. But we did pose the question out about the question. Wish my phone was working. Questions we asked. Now that the first half of the season is wrapped, what is everyone's thoughts on the Hinrunde? Who's your MVP of the season? Best new signing, most disappointing player, most surprising moment, goal of the season, and second half predictions. So I'll read some of them here. We'll start with the Discord. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Turkow says MVP is Keenan Karaman, no doubt. All right, I like that. Best new signing, Musa Silla. Hard to argue that, right? Hard to argue that. Most disappointing is Felipe Sanchez. Yeah, I think, we all felt this hope or promise that he'd be the starlet that Manga found, and he would be just come to the team and boom, take the team by fire, light the team by fire. But no, it didn't really happen yet. Could, but it hasn't happened yet. Most surprising is our 2 wins versus Elversberg and Paderborn. Yeah, those were surprising to say the least. Shock is probably more the word I would use. But did not see that coming at all. No comment on goal of the season, and he says his best takeaway or his prediction for the second half of the season: we won't get relegated. I'll take that. I will take that. No doubt about it. Let's see. Will says, let's see. He says, haven't seen enough of the games to give you to be super objective with this. MVP has to be Keenan Karaman. Plus his rousing speech in the dressing room warrants it. Let alone his goals and assist output. Yeah, he's been a monster in that department. Recruitment has been poor this season, but still is clearly the gem of the bag. The rest are rubbish. Let's see. Rest of the season, he's hoping that these last few games will be set the tone for the Rückrunde. He said, if it's a mid-table finish and Keith Van Wonderen is still in charge at the end of the season, I think it should be seen as a massive positive in the circumstances. Yeah, I mean, considering where we were and to get mid-table end of the season, that would be a positive season for us. You know, obviously we had high hopes going into the season, but the way it shaped up with under Gerrard to the end there, that would be a positive result, I think. All right, T says MVP has to go to Keenan Karaman and Silla. We always know Keenan is gonna tear it up last season, but Silla, less than 6 months in the league in German football, no less, and he's providing output like prime Tarota. He says. Disappointed in Bachmann and Sanchez. Overall, signings have been rubbish. Like another one says the same thing, except for Musa Silla. Surprise is the sudden Kees van Wonderen turnaround, especially after Hanover. And going into the gruesome post-November break schedule, where did that come from? We'll never know, but just Harry Potter things. Yes, Harry Potter uses magic. Absolutely. He says, goal of the Hinrunde goes to Keenan Karaman against Hertha. Just bended it into the top corner. Moore against Braunschweig, match day 1, was a really great goal. I think you'll hear about that a lot. And his prediction is we're not getting relegated. Realistically, 10th or mid-table like last year, but he really wants a late promotion push, maybe even 5th. I like that. Hey, I would take it. Let's see. Eric says MVP, Karaman, best new signing, Silla. Yep, most disappointing. Take your pick between Sanchez, Højlund, Cisse, and Tempelman. Yeah. It's funny because like Højlund, I think, was starting to get there. He was starting to get there and got injured. I think he had some flashes just before his injury that he was like, okay, maybe he's gonna get it. Maybe he's gonna fit in as a super sub, but it hasn't really. We haven't seen that much of him, right? And then I lost my place. Cisse, yeah, I mean, it started out the season where Gerrard was like, yeah, this is gonna be our guy, but we haven't really seen much of him. Apparently, there's been a lot of in practices. He's been talking back and forth, chirping a lot. Keenan Karaman told him to shut up. A couple other players, I think Häkkinen told him to shut up too. Despite Gerrard saying this is a good thing, he likes seeing this fight out of Cisse. It just hasn't worked out. And Van Wonderen said one of the recent pressers, maybe it was around the Kaiserslautern time. He said like, "Oh, Cisse is almost there. He's almost ready. He just needs to get more match fit in the U23s." But that was weeks ago. Like, where was he? All right. So good shots there by Eric. Let's see. Most surprising moment: the players finding out on the field after the match during the interviews that Kees van Wonderen was going to be the new coach. That was odd to me. That's a disappointing moment for me. I think the fact that we saw this with Gerrard, we've seen this before with Schalke, where they bring in the coach, put him in the suites. The head coach sticks his head out the window, and everybody catches it with the cameras, and boom, we find out. Now you would think logic tells you if the coach is there, the new coach is there, the rest of the team knows this. No, not with Schalke. We wouldn't do that. That makes too much sense, right? Apparently, nobody knew Kees van Wonderen was the new coach. Just Tillman and Manga. He sticks his head out the window. Then the players get asked after the game. I think Sky Dirk and Andreas Ernst and others like that said, "Hey, what do you think about Kees van Wonderen?" Like, who? Who's the new coach? This is news to me. That's not a good way. That's bad PR there. Hopefully Expedia or wherever freaking Tillman came from, they did better with their PR than that. So, very embarrassing moment there. Honorable mention goes to the revelation of how dirty the politics at the club are with ousting of Gerrard as example, and Fairman, the way they got rid of their physios, the way they got rid of Buskins and Asamoah. Yeah, that's been quite a disappointment as well. That's quite up there for me too. The way the backroom politics have been or revealed to us. The amount of people that had said something about the backroom makes you think it's true. And that's unfortunate because that's not the Schalke way. That is why the fan base is so upset with the higher ups, because they've lost their way. So it seems, and they're doing things business way, or I don't know how the hell they're doing it, but it's not great. Goal of the season, he says more with the goal and second half predictions will end up in 8th place. Okay, I like it. What else we got in terms of predictions? I'll do one on Twitter and then get to Reddit. We had a lot of responses there. And we get people their shout outs that they, for chiming in. Where's the tweet there? Here we go. Oh, there it is. All right. So this comes in from Bart on Twitter. Says, Keenan Carman, your MVP. Silla, best signing. Hoffman and Sanchez, your most disappointment. Biggest surprise, the win against Paderborn, 4-2. Keenan's goal against Hertha Berlin, that was mentioned already. And then prediction is 8th place. Or 6th place, excuse me. All right. Now, over to Reddit. Keenan. So this one got a lot of votes. This is like the majority of people. 20 people said that this is their answer, right? Keenan Carman, your MVP. I think that's been unanimous thus far. Musa Silla, best signing. It's been unanimous so far. Felipe Sanchez. I think everybody's mentioned Felipe Sanchez in this one. Number 4, in terms of biggest surprise, comeback against Hamburg. Down 2-0, and all of a sudden come back, and we thought maybe we got to win that game. But 2-2 draw against Hamburg, that's a big shock. I think at that point, we had no idea what was about to come, or what was about to get revealed to us, and then we get that draw. We for sure thought we were losing against Hamburg. Get that draw against Hamburg, and then the chips started falling as they weigh in towards our favor after that. So, yeah, it's a great shout. Tobias Moore's banger against Braunschweig to start the season. It was just like a sensational volley out of nowhere. That's a great shout. And then midfield finish in the table, 6-9. Yeah, that's pretty good. So a comment was, I want to share my thoughts. The injuries of Seguin and Yunus are a main reason that we fucked up for so long. We start with promising performances. After the injuries, everything went bad. I think Karel Gerards would still be the coach. Injuries did play a big part of Gerard's tenure, and all our tenures, it seems like. Someone responded back to that person and says, even though I dislike how it went with Gerards, I don't think the last games would have been the same under him. One of the most impressive things Kies van Wonderen has done, in my opinion, is to make Kaminsky useful, yes, and working in our team. We sure still has issues, but I'm not worried that he's in our starting 11. That was possible because Kies van Wonderen implemented his own ideas of how we play, and which is quite different from what Karel wanted. And then that response back to them was, I agree with you. Gerard's idea of football is totally different compared to Kies van Wonderen. I'm glad that now it seems like maybe it won't end in a disaster. My only and everlasting concern right now is that the board of directors. I'm really glad that Schalke implement the sports director function again, sort of. Huge mistake to not do so in the past. You do need people with football knowledge for decisions about football. Yeah, that's 100%. Looking over to chat now. Dirk says, Hoyland will come in the Rückrunde if he stays uninjured. Yeah, I would like to see him as a sub role. Good to see a Kuroro. Hoyland, I think, as a sub role would be good. I feel like they're still going to go try to find a striker on the cheap that is better than Silla, which is going to be hard because he's got 11 goals. Now, obviously, you're probably doing that because, too, Silla is probably going to be a hot commodity in the Winterpause, right? Schalke said, like, if you give us €5 million, essentially we're going to give him up. At least what Vaz is reporting that, right? And so, hopefully that doesn't happen. Silla has even said himself, like, hey, I play for Schalke. My contract says Schalke. I'm going to give all my best to Schalke, until it says otherwise. But, like, if a team comes with some money, any money, because we don't have any money. So a team comes with money, we're going to take it like a cheap whore and give him up. So we're going to have a backup plan. If we lose Silla, we need to back him up. Back that up and got to get a goal scorer. So hopefully, if that happens, it doesn't. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we keep Silla because I want to see Silla and Carman bang out 20 goals this year. But if we do lose Silla, it better be someone who's comparable in goal and better output at least 5 to 6 goals at minimum. At minimum, I think. Dirk says, not getting relegated and please no promotion. Way too early, and Zweite Liga is again way too entertaining. Yeah, look, Zweite Liga is absolutely entertaining. Most entertaining league in the world. Now, we obviously want to get out of this mess of the Zweite Liga because we see Hamburg has been here for 47 years, it feels like. No, it's been since 2016 or something like that. But it's been a long time. You don't know if you're going to get out again, right? This is arguably the most difficult Zweite Liga season in terms of competitiveness I can remember. I'm sure there was others, but this is hardest since we've been here in over the last 3-4 years. So you never know if you're going to get back out. But I do agree with Dirk in the sense that it's way too early. Schalke came out and said we have a 3-year plan to get out of the Zweite Liga this time. And this is only, year 2, right? We need more. We don't have enough depth. We don't have enough contracts. Like, we're going to lose everybody and have to rebuild again. Remember what happened last time we got promoted? Great season to get promoted, but Roving Schroeder had to rebuild the squad all over again with players that weren't capable of. We had no money, and we struggled and got relegated again. So I don't want to, if we get promoted, I want to stay in the bully. I don't want to get relegated again, go back to Zweite Liga. I'd rather, if that's the case, that we're getting promoted and get dropped again, I'd rather just stay one more year in the Zweite Liga and then go up and stay up, right? Nothing in life is a guarantee, but yeah, that's a good question. Cororo's worst Schalke PR moments: Ben Manga shooting against Karl Gerards after that going away for a holiday. Yeah, freaking Ben Manga running his mouth. Man, it was just one thing after another with the PR, or poor PR, I should say. Really, really bad. Hoffman didn't really get into that much of an opportunity. He didn't. And then I think Häkkinen kind of earned his spot and kind of kept it after that. There are rumors that Hoffman can go if he can find a team that is willing to pay money for him. That's what I guess Manga said, or somebody said in higher ups. So they want Hoffman. Schalke want Hoffman as the backup. But if he wishes to leave because he wants more playing time, if he finds someone who's willing to pay for him, he can go. And I think Schalke are looking for backups just in case. So interesting there. He says Hoffman's a better keeper than Häkkinen, but the decision up to our coach. Yeah, I think you talk about shot stopping ability alone. It's Hoffman. It is. It's Hoffman. There's no doubt. No denying that. If you're looking about effectiveness for this team, I think the way the distribution is Häkkinen compared to Hoffman, I think there's a difference. And at present, Häkkinen gets the edge, and I think Van Wanderen requires his goalie for his system to be able to play the ball out, and I think Häkkinen does a much better job of that at the moment. So if we sell Silla, are we just stupid to sell him in the Winterpause? Yeah, we are. We can still do that later. Right now is essential to our team. I agree. I think the season he's having, he's going to get suitors no matter what. 11 goals in the Zweite Liga is nothing to scoff at, I think, and he's going to get more. If you're Schalke, yeah, you maybe get 5 million euros for him, right? But he stays here with Kenan Karaman and the momentum we've built. You're talking 17 to 20 goals in the second half of the season. Well, let's be more conservative. 15 to 20 goals at the end of the season. If you're going to get 5 million euros in the Winterpause, you might get 10 million euros or 15 million euros in the summer. Why don't you just wait? Yeah, we're not going to get relegated if we lose him. I'm hoping. But wouldn't it be better if you just kept him and then finish strong and then get a lot more money and then replace him with someone for another $2 million and then use that money to spread it? Yes, let's do that. I am with this 100%. Let's save Silla, reject all offers unless somebody comes with 20 million euros. Hey, take it. Take it and run, right? If they're coming with only 5 million euros, reject it, keep him, and keep the goals output going. Unless he's begging to go, don't do it. Do not do it. You can't say Schalke isn't tinting all around. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Silla is rated 500,000K or 500K more at the moment. That's it. Yeah. So, let him finish out the season with us. Let him bang out a lot more goals, and that price is going to double, triple, who knows what it's going to be about, right? Him and Kenan Karaman are something special at the moment. Both those guys get 20 goals. We're going to be looking like, what was that Darmstadt combo several years ago? It was Tietz and somebody. I forget who. Somebody chat, let me know who it is. It's Tietz and somebody, but those two guys for Darmstadt both had 20 goals plus in that season when they got promoted. So that's what we kind of got at the moment. He says, I hope Silla will stay longer than next year, but he could be our Farfan. Yeah. I can't see Karaman leaving. That is all wishful thinking, but it's a very unlikely scenario. Let's hear you pronounce the names. Let's hear you pronounce the name, Rich. Which name am I pronouncing? Which name? Are you talking about? Which name? Tell me which name you want me to pronounce. 50 million and they can have him. Yeah, I mean, if we take 50 million, I'll definitely take him, man. Terodde and Bulter. Yeah. They are. Silla and Karaman are our Terodde for sure, and Bulter. My angry tree right here Marius Bulter for sure. All right. Is that all the things from Reddit? Let me see. Is there any more comments that I should share with you guys? Oh, the one thing I want to share. Shout out to everyone else on Reddit who tweeted out. There are some of the other shouts for best signings: Bullet, Hoffman, Gantenbeim. Oh no, Hoffman and Gantenbeim are the disappointments. Let's see what stands out here. So shout out to all those people here. Master Strength on Reddit. Shimizu, Narmak, the Yipster, Aussie Grit, Ablatiera. Ablatiera says, I actually have a strong feeling that we are going to get promoted this year. This is what I wanted to share. They said that we're playing so well now in the Hinrunde. If we keep this form up, they have a feeling that we're going to get promoted this year. And someone responded to that, which is So4 Worlds Ready. Their response was, yeah, I have a feeling we get 12 to 13 wins in the Rückrunde. You've been listening to our podcast, Dirk. Give me a couple more drinks on my. I'll start pronouncing my bad German. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts of this? You got a couple of guys and people on Reddit saying we can get promoted this year, right? On this form, playing the top 5 teams that we've done over the last 2 months, they think promotion's not out of the question. And despite the league is that close, we're 11 points only from the top spot, but we're 8 points from a promotion spot. It's gonna take a lot. 12 13 wins. Sure. Yeah, 12 13 wins. That is I don't know, man. I don't know. It's possible. Anything is possible. If we play like we played over the last, against this gauntlet we just had here, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I don't know if I'm there yet to say we can get promoted. I would love to get promoted. Maybe. If the circumstances are correct. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's possible. It is absolutely possible here. Shout out to Think Guru, Usual Glittering, Water in a Glass, Regnus Gyros, and others who commented along. Yeah, it's absolutely interesting thoughts. So let us know in the comments. Do you think promotion is a possibility? I say not quite there. I say I love the top 10 finish, 5 to 7 range. I would love that. Even threaten for a promotion. But I don't think we get a promotion. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. All right. On that note, I think we are going to get out of here. Diggler says we need a huge sponsor for the bully. Yeah, we would. We need a lot more money. And the last comment here is, how much is I wish we would get promoted, but we could stay on the ground and keep working on performance? Yeah, it's hard to keep a strong performance this long in the winter ball. Yeah, it's a long break. It is a long break. All right. So we're going to end the podcast here on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to stay on Twitch. So if you want to, we're going to watch little football highlights on Twitch and maybe play a little FIFA before we get out of here. And that'll kind of be the theme going forward, I think. Mostly because I just want to play video games and watch some highlights, right? And I don't want to do it on YouTube. So if you're only watching this or listening to this podcast, Glück auf, enjoy your Winterpause while we're not here. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. And for everyone else, we'll catch you guys on Twitter. Or Twitter. Shit, I'm already fucking this up. We'll be on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch. So stay on Twitch. Move over to Twitch if you want to stay on with us. Otherwise, enjoy the break. For Jack, wherever he is, Chicagoland. For myself, catch you guys soon. Glück auf.